In this Make It Once video, a day in the life of Newton the old Volvo. It's August here in California, and that means that it's hot and dry, and there's fires raging in a few different parts of the state. But fortunately for us in this area, the weather's been pretty favorable, so we haven't had to deal with it too much. It also means that the kids are back in school, which means I have a little bit more time to get some things done, which is nice. And if you haven't been following me on Instagram, my wife also bought a Nissan Leaf, so the driveway space is a little bit at a premium. So we now, between the two of us, have 5 vehicles, which is a little bit too much. Marty's in the back, and the Leaf goes on the driveway so it can charge. So I think one of them is going to probably have to leave. But for the moment, I'm just going to kind of keep everything up to date, kind of catch up with things now that the kids are in school. As you can see, Newton here is still having a little bit of trouble starting. I did kind of narrow some things down. I upgraded the octane. I thought that might have a little bit to do with it, but upping the octane probably is making it harder to start. But also I've been trying to keep a little bit more fuel, so as the fuel level comes down, it gets harder and harder to start. And I think the pressure from the gas in the tank going to the fuel pump does help it on start. It's not a solution, but it does kind of give me a clue where the issue is. I think the fuel lines from the gas tank to the fuel pump have little pinholes, and so it's losing its vacuum, so to speak. So it's losing its prime, so the fuel's draining back into the tank or just evaporating out of those little holes. I don't really know. And so that's typical. So if I crank it for a few seconds, wait a minute, 30 seconds, I think it's enough to pull the fuel into the line, fill up the whole line, and then it starts up no problem. If you also can see, the windshield's disgusting. There's stuff all over the car. I haven't washed it. There was a brief lightning storm a week or so ago. I think it started some of the fires again. So I'm gonna do some chores, pull it into the driveway, clean it up, and get going on a few things. So picked up the doggo food and a little dog blanket, and now I'm off to O'Reilly's. Oops. Picked up an oil drain pan and a little funnel. Make life easy, change the oil. One of the things I have to do with Newton here. I bought this oil a little ways back, just in the spur of the moment. I like buying stuff. It was overpriced, but it does have high zinc in it, and it's designed for old cars. Instead of trying to track down a zinc additive, I just spent probably an extra $5 because it says classic hot rod on it. So anyway, here we go. Of course, I use the cardboard and I forget to put it under my hands. My hands are what dripped the oil. So That oil's pretty dirty. So I was driving the car. It's been about 30 minutes. I can get in there with the wrench without burning myself. This. Okay, the issue I'm having here is that oil filter is screwed on super tight. I'm having a hard time loosening it. So I can get it off. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get it. I'm gonna put on my glove because that's hot. Spilling it all over the place. I think that's just inevitable. There we go. And up and out. Everybody says, kiss them to each other. Did that work? Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty neat. This, do that. Oh, spilled. That seems like it's not the right thread. So I think I'm going to just put this one back with a fresh washer. Yeah, that other one's not the right thread. Ooh, there's oil getting everywhere. With the new filter, it is supposed to hold 4 quarts and half a pint, which is a cup, so a little bit over there. So I'm going to get to about 4. Here's some dripping. I think that's just it filling up the oil pan in the filter. Should be about 4. Finished changing the oil. Cleaned out the engine bay a little bit of all the crud from this tree over here. Since California is in such a severe drought, and just figured I'm gonna wipe it all down instead of washing it, use this stuff. It says no rinse. This is kind of like the final wash. Usually if it's severely dirty, you're supposed to just rinse it down and soap it and stuff, and then this goes over and cleans it up. Has what they call polymers in it, which is basically just think of somewhere between Elmer's glue and starch. Polymers are just what make up glue, as in plastics and things like that, sticky stuff. So it leaves kind of like a sticky residue and then dries kind of clear, and it's supposed to, the more times you do it, the more it sort of polishes it, but you don't use very much water. So yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of wipe all this stuff down, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Here is after.